Yeah.
Very nice.
Always and every day. Now
It's season form here.
We're just
It's
automatic.
like automatic. It's like Curry at the free throw line over here. I think you made that joke a week ago, actually.
we're just about Curry not actually that good this year at the free throw line. Only 90%, which is like low for Curry.
Who's the leader?
Who's the leader in free throw percentage? Yeah. Let's hold on. Let me get it up.
Start off with some trivia.
Just right off the bat, we're just gonna roll right into it. No introductions.
It's completely unplanned.
Week 5.
Alexander. Well, that doesn't not one
Magruder. I don't even know what's the right. Oh,
yeah,
see.
Don't worry about that.
Oh, we've ruined it.
Yep.
Who's got the who's the right? Grayson Allen.
33 of 35. That's something.
Harden.
Harden.
Say Harden and Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
Grayson Allen's 95%. That's pretty good. You know what I find interesting? While we mentioned this in week 5, the week where you finally win.
Yes, on the board, baby.
I know it's you remember the amount of players in the WNBA that shoot like plus 95% from the free throw line is bananas. Like the record free throw percent, like Breanna Stewart shot like 96% and she was only like the 12th best free throw percentage like in WNBA history. And I was like, what? The shooting quality in the WNBA is like insane.
I like it. Fundamentals.
No further comment.
I mean, I was trying to like come up with a reason, but I just didn't have one.
I think trying is where it's
at. Hand size is part of it because a lot of the worst free throw shooters are big dudes with huge hands who like are cupping a tiny ball, like Shaq when he. Okay, just move on. Keep moving. Like you see Shaq's hands when he gripped the ball, and it was like, how are you supposed to shoot this?
Yeah, there's palming a ball and there's whatever Shaq does where it's like he could just crush it. Like it's scary how big his hands are.
That's probably some part of it, but not all of it. A lot of it is probably just more practice, more effort, everyone has to shoot.
Giving a crap. Maybe not along these lines, but segueing into how do you feel on the board now? You're on the board. You got a win in. I think everything's turned around for you.
Not even in last anymore. Like everything's coming up pants here.
You gotta put the balls in something. You know, it makes sense.
All right, calm down.
So I'm done. Family show. I feel like the tone of your text messages to me about basketball over the past 9 days roughly has dramatically improved. It has
changed. It is not just optimistic about Blazer things, it's optimistic about other things, which is good. Although Blazers are hitting a bit of a skid right now. But Simmons has definitely been a big key to this turnaround. He has definitely found himself again. And he's back to his what do you have, like a 15, 13, and 7. Then he had 15, 13, 7, 20.
6 stocks. Playing defense.
He's doing Simmons things again.
He's taking free throws.
Vaughn. What's that?
He's taking free throws, honest. Like
he's literally, and he's taking shots. Like he's shooting the ball 8 to 10 times per game, which is exactly what you want from him. Like he is not a guy you ever want shooting the ball 20 times per game because he's just gonna get fouled so much that it's gonna lead to too many free throw misses. But 10 shots per game, around 18 points per game. He hovers around 8-7 assists and rebounds with some steals and some blocks. Like he plays nominal backup center again, which is exactly what he should be doing. Like Jacques Vaughn is using him the right way. He's using him the way you're supposed to use Ben Simmons, rather than everybody else who has tried to make him like a different thing. When he's one of those players where you just have to use him the way you have to use him, or else it's not going to work. You can't make him do other things. And there's a handful of guys who are like that. Like you have to surround them with the right. Harden is the same way. I feel like you have to surround him with the right people. You have to use them the right way. Otherwise, it's not, or otherwise, it's like a waste of time and money and effort to like have them on your team. Anyway,
Great person to put around Ben Simmons is Royce O'Neal. That's all I'm saying.
Royce O'Neal is a great person to put on any team. He's definitely one of those guys like who will succeed. Like he should be on a championship contender. Like that's the kind of guy that he doesn't win titles, but he swings playoff games.
He almost got me a tie last week with his triple double, but
Yeah,
alas,
that's
it was
gonna
not.
be. I wanted to do this one of these weeks, like one of the most improbable triple doubles ever. Like we need to look at like guys who have won triple double, and do a remember some triple double guys.
Ooh, remember some triple doubles. We are
So
writing that down. What
yep, put that in the show notes
show notes?
next week.
Just everybody's got all the millions of fans tune in next week.
Yep,
That'll
give you
we're gonna
behind the curtain of how we figure this stuff out.
remember some triple doubles. Also for you, I'm sure you're excited about Triple
I
J's
do like some triple J's.
industrious return.
Yeah, he has. I think like what does he have? 13 blocks in 3 games.
13 blocks. He's averaging 4 blocks per 25 minutes, which is
Yikes.
insane. Yeah, I think
Getting his points, getting his my efficiency is definitely taking a hit with between him and Simmons. There's more turnovers, more free throw misses happening. So that's something to keep an eye on because one of the things I was doing really well the first few weeks was shooting the ball incredibly well and like not turning it over. So we get a
mhm.
little more scoring, a little less efficiency.
We do have to mention the return of Joe and the return of
Ugh,
his terrible person,
ugh.
which we'll pull for a second. Uh,
Struce.
huh?
Struce. I like Struce.
He dumped
Um,
him. He dumped him.
oh,
He
he
dumped
did.
him like a he's on the wire, baby. Back on the wire.
He had a game where they I don't know if you it was like one of the game I think the overtime game they were running crunch time plays for him like
He's
he
all like
was
when Butler's out, he's all like he is the guy. Like
yeah
that's
but
it's
like Lowry's on this team like anyway
he's not playing. He's definitely a facilitator on that
he's
team.
also
Like,
old he had a triple double the other night
oh, did he really?
yeah that I
That's good.
think that game was the game he had a triple double
And then you beat West Enfield. It was a good. That was a good win for you. Like that's a good. This is a good team. Uh, so that's a good win. Especially he's got like OG. We discussed this last week. Who's having like.
I matched up well on him because he has a lot of scorers
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
not a lot of other stuff like he's gonna crush it on points and threes, and he shoots the ball well. But my team shot like almost 60% last week, because it was just big guys dunking. Like that was my whole team until Triple J and Simmons. Other than Halliburton, it's just big guys dunking.
Ooh. I guess it's early in the week, but that's a tough score. How? What's the for the fans at home? I feel like we still have yet. Have we got Peter on the show? Have we got the
No, not
taco?
this year.
Wow, we need to get him back on the show. How is the chat going? How is the trash talk? Is there any good trash
I don't
talk
know.
or
I'm not sure he knows that this is happening. Because we had lots of trash talk when we played football, but hard to say. I'll have to trash talk him when I'm ahead,
there you
but I'm
go.
currently losing.
Do
So
that. What else we got? So let's check out the Roto, the great and wonderful Roto. Mostly I think tracking along with sort of results. Although the illustrious and wonderful Amy Broombaugh is on top right now.
this is interesting because if you remember last year, she was in first like the whole year, but like fourth in the roto.
That's yeah,
And now it's flipped. She's like middle of the pack record wise and high in the roto.
I do. It is a good call. Uh, but to her credit, very good at drafting. Like every time
Always she just
she's
as I say, she just picks good basketball players. Like she's not out here like, well, this guy gets this many steals per 36, so I need to get this guy. It's like, oh, DeMar DeRozan is good at basketball. I will draft him. It's like it's a great, Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Curry. Like these are all people that are good at basketball. Like just generally.
yes, it's she definitely has her favorites. I think because she had a lot of these guys last year. Good for that. So
I
yeah,
believe
yeah,
DeRozan is definitely one of her go tos. She had him last year, I think.
she did, and I was very sad both last year and this year because he's very good at basketball and is continuing to like keep the Bulls in contention because he's freaking ridiculous. Also, like everybody's shooting lights out on this team. Like,
Well,
uh,
Curry is doing ungodly things, and I had Curry last year, and he was low key bad last year.
yeah, he
But
was
this year
inefficient.
he's like the whole team. That team is winless without him probably at this point. I don't know if they win a game. Maybe the one where Clay had 40 the other night, but like they're awful without him.
Yeah, if you have, I mean, like, look at the like Curry, Mitchell, Brunson, all shooting 50% at their volume, like,
Yeah, that's
is
gonna win you a lot of games.
yeah, that's banana town. And even Davis doesn't even actually have that good a percentage, but he's like, or and DeRozan at 52, like, that's an insane amount of volume.
That's a lot of guys shooting over 50% on high volume. Even like, Bogdanovich, who I am a fan of and have had multiple years, he's not a 51% guy. That's not who he is. He is a 45% guy who sometimes goes like 8 of 10 from 3, but then the next night goes 0 of 10 from 3.
Yeah,
So it all balances out.
on the also for next time on the actual tanking Pistons, one of the few teams that
Well,
is actually committed to the tank. What
well
happened to
also
Cade?
Cade is out. He has a stress fracture.
Oh, I saw he was out, but
So
I didn't know
that's a
what happened.
pure like it's like okay, we're done. Pack it in.
Shut it down.
Give give Jaden Ivey the ball every minute of every game and just let him do stuff.
Uh, and yeah, and as we mentioned last week, also the you beat number two in the roto, Mr. Wes Unseld, and I think this is a good example of where I think we talked about this in past seasons, and I think it's showing again, like you might show up in the roto being a good at everything team, but it means you can also like narrowly lose lots of categories each week, which I think is a very like is always the risk of going with the peanut butter approach to drafting or team building
The peanut
versus
butter
the
approach.
yeah, you spread across the categories versus like going hard. You know,
What's
peanut
the opposite of peanut butter in this scenario? Like in the jelly approach?
I it's not like a sandwich comparison, but nobody in your work is like you just peanut butter over, like you
You
spread
don't
it
have
over.
like a different language at work than every other human being.
I do
It's
not. I do
very
not.
clear from the way that you talk about work that no one else talks about it in the way that you and your people do.
Yes, no one else but the hundreds of thousands of individuals that I work with at my
Yeah,
organization.
everybody else, you're just an anomaly out there.
We will discuss this afterwards because now I'm very curious, but we're not going to belabor the fans with our
Behind
machinations
the
of
scenes.
behind the Illinois
Wow,
States.
you have a lot of offensive rebounds. I'm just
Uh,
looking at the rank.
okay, I have to show this. I this isn't a well. What's funny about this is it's not even like on purpose, like necessarily. Like
It's just
Gobert.
Gobert, right?
Well, no, I have like four of the top 10 offensive rebound guys. Like, but they're all also high rebounds. They just seem to be very good at offensive rebounds. So
It's
Pirtle
interesting
go,
that oh yeah, those are offensive rebound guys.
yeah. So Pirtle and Gobert for sure. But even like
Plumlee,
Hartenstein, Hart
Hartenstein.
Hartenstein. I
Your
can't.
pronunciation is not great, as we'll get to later.
No, I'm gonna. I forgot. No, I think I got it back. I think I got it back. We'll save
We'll
it.
get there.
Um, but like so yeah, so like they're high on offensive rebounds, but they're also like high in rebounds. So it's like an interesting like rebound share. So like Gobert and Pirtle still top 10 total rebounds. So I feel like that's a good efficient use versus like Vooch, who's quite inverse, like not a lot of offensive rebounds.
He's never anywhere near the hoop.
Yeah, he's also shooting. Yeah, he's shooting all the time. So I like that. I feel like my strategy worked out. So yeah, I'm crushing that category. I'm happy with that. Crushing steals, and only behind you in turnovers, which I think will quickly change with the your team going back into full gear and becoming more turnover heavy. So I think I'm hitting my planks that I'm happy with.
Hmm I'm starting to get to mine. I think I'm gonna be first in blocks soon enough because
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
machines that are Turner and Triple J. So and I want to. I'm on the lookout for steals, guys. My strategy at this point is to win rebounds, stocks, turnovers, percentages. Those are the ones I'm paying attention to. Like if the guys I've been picking up and using are low on are killing me in percentages and turnovers, then I need to think about something else.
I I'm I feel like my roto is not accurate because the past 2 weeks I've had like half a team playing and
Yeah,
only bigs. Like none of my guards have been actually playing basketball at all for the past two weeks, which I'm kind of frustrated about because everybody died and got COVID
yeah.
or
Like
like
I'm
broke.
10th in rebounds, but I think I led everybody in rebounds last week.
Yeah, like with Triple
So,
J, that'll be a big help.
well, he doesn't rebound. It's mostly just the gang approach of it. Like Simmons being back in, it's a bunch of guys who average like 7 rebounds a game. You
Yeah,
either can have like 3 guys who average 15, like you've got basically, or what I've kind of got is where I'm hoping that like everyone in my lineup gets 7 rebounds every night.
I'm looking very much forward to the eventual return of the Time Lord, where I can roll a lineup that's like Gobert, Pirtle, Time Lord, and win like all
Those
of
are
the
some
things.
large people.
I'm very excited. And then I don't have to play any other bigs.
Time Lord, is he a rebounder or is he mostly shot blocking?
He was like top 5 rebounder last year.
Okay. Because a lot of those shot blocking guys don't rebound because they're so wildly out of position all the time for their shot blocks.
Let's review. I don't want to mislead the
I don't
fans.
I don't I don't begrudge you this. I am sure you're right. I just was characterizing some of my other people.
I don't want to mislead the. Can I search everybody, all players? Hold on. Now I'm just seeing what's possible.
Yeah, you can do that.
And
Well, you're
then
in this,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
last season.
So
Rebounds.
I lied. I was not even close. He
Well, he missed a lot of games too.
he missed a lot. Well, okay, let's look at average.
Because that knee thing, he missed most of the spring.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he was out for a long time. Um, he's top 15.
Okay, this is a good rebounder.
Yeah, like
9.8
yeah,
or
that's good.
whatever.
He's
Yeah.
averaging. He's basically averaging a double double. I'll take that.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving
Not
on.
to get too bogged down in this.
That's all. That's all. I'm like in the. I'm like Mr. Weed. I'm like the opposite of Roundup. What's the opposite of Roundup?
I don't know. You're not a
This is.
weed killer. You're a weed man. I don't
I'm
know.
a dandelion. I'm a dandelion.
You're an invasive species.
Oh, all right. Clearly we prepared well today. So, for the one fun segment we have, today, it's almost a core of the way through the season. We're getting
Yeah,
there.
we're closing in on 20 games, which you can start making some assumptions.
And so we figured we would review the rookies. We'd review the rookies. Always a
Okay.
fun thing for the season. I should have like had this, scrolled correctly, but of course I didn't. Uh and so I looked at the world renowned and always correct Kia rookie ladder, obviously the
Do you
source
like
of
people
truth.
who work at Kia make the decisions on this? Or
That'd
is
be
it the
awesome.
sponsor? I like the exec come with the sponsorship. It's like you sponsor us, you get to choose the rookie ladder.
That would be like there's somebody who works at Kia. It's like, hey, what about the ladder? Like, can I get in on
Yep.
that? Like,
And then
it's
we find
happening.
out that Kia is based in Indiana.
Uh, uh, just because this is related, I feel like this is a related topic. There's a documentary series on Netflix right now about the kid who tried to get the Harrier jet from Pepsi because they put it on the commercial that if you like traded in like X amount of Pepsi points when they did one of those like advertisements, you can get a Harrier jet. And apparently like actually like sued Pepsi for it. And so they made a series about it. So just like, if you want to go whole hog, I feel like the person at Kia could make this happen if like dude could go for Pepsi for the Harrier jet. So I'm just tying it in free advertising, I guess, for Netflix, whatever. Uh, so the latter this week is a little interesting because there are some injuries affecting it. So the one and great Paulo Banchero is down to
Pronunciation
3.
again. Yeah. Well, he's been out for what, last week and a half, 2 weeks
Yeah,
almost.
he's a little on the injured side.
No, he had a bad ankle sprain, is what happened to him.
Still consensus, right? Like if he gets healthy
If
and
he
like
plays enough games, he's clearly the rookie of the year.
yeah. So I think
He
that's a
may not
consensus.
play enough games though. That might be because of injury and shutdown.
Oh yeah, sure, the shutdown. Yeah, of course. You always gotta be suspect of the early season injuries leading to the shutdown. That's a good call. So actually, okay, so the ladder, we'll just go through the ladder. The top 5 is Mathruian.
Ah, you got it.
Yes. Benedict Mathern, which is a fantastic name. Mr. Jaden Ivey, who I think we were like so-so in some
I was
league.
very low on Ivy, so good
Yeah,
for
I
him.
wasn't a big fan. Mr. Banchero.
Great
Uh,
shirt in that picture.
yeah, this is like I think this is because it's a weekly. I think they're highlighting.
It's
It's a
like a
good.
Rubik's Cube shirt if it was more colors. Like if you had, actually, I now want a Rubik's Cube shirt, and I bet that exists somewhere.
100%. Mr. Keegan Murray, Jabari Smith Jr., which I'm surprised at because
Eh.
yeah, and then the also rans, Mr. Terry Eason, Shaden Sharp, your man, and then some other folks.
Well,
So
Sharp is perfectly in his draft spot. He's seventh. That's where he was drafted. So
exactly. So good pick there.
perfectly adequate pick. Perfectly cromulent draft pick.
Now, Matherin was not drafted for us. Most of these other guys were. Keegan Murray wasn't in the
He
draft.
wasn't. He wasn't. Matherin wasn't drafted.
I don't think so.
I
Let
thought he
me.
was because I thought I remember groaning.
Maybe I'm wrong there.
I could
Let's look.
also be wrong and just looking in hindsight and saying maybe I liked him even though he turned out to be good.
No, ninth round
Yeah, that's what I thought.
actually. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
I
I'm
mean, he was
surprised
the
by that.
top 5 pick in the regular draft.
Yeah, Ivy
Maybe sixth.
was.
Maybe he was sixth. I don't remember.
I don't think Murray was. No, he was. What, in seventh? Oh man, that was a sporty pick by Mike. Seventh round,
I don't
Keegan
know.
Murray.
I don't disagree with that pick. He was most people thought if it wasn't going to be Banchero, it was going to be him as rookie of the year because he had all the opportunity to get in there.
That's actually so. I think this shows our league is very savvy. We have the top six rookies were drafted and near their correct positioning in their current ranking. So good on the league. Now, question. So Matherin, that's three in a row. Three in a row.
On
Uh,
fire.
on fire. Top of the ladder. Where would you see him? Do you think who do you think of those folks is actually top of the fantasy rankings for our league? Different
Well, you
question.
already told me that.
I
So
did. So
let's go the other way. Like, where is Mathern as a rookie in fantasy?
gotcha.
Because the
What is
first
your
one is Tari Eason, you said, who
yes, is number one at 78, which is a proper good showing.
yeah,
And
he's definitely one of those guys where the league maybe overrates him a little bit. Like I had him for a while, I dropped him. Because
stocks.
he gets some stocks. He does not turn the ball over because he does not touch the ball. He only takes like 2 free throws per game and he makes them usually. So like his free throw percentage is high. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't really score though. He gets you 6, 7 rebounds, maybe an assist or two. Like he's a good 10th man right now. I think his role will grow. And I think he will be maybe he could be a stud towards the end of the year when you're
He's
he's got
definitely
commissioner of the sanitation department written all over him.
he's on the ballot for sure. Like he's
However, our limited bench makes it hard to stash a guy like that.
fair. But he is 100% on the ballot
Yeah.
for
He's not playable. He's not really playable in your lineup right now.
I think per our discussion last week, he is a 10th guy. He's
Yeah.
a guy where he's in a totally good waiver pickup right now in the league. He's gonna get aggregate stats. He's gonna go do stuff. If you need steals, he's clearly getting you some
He gets some
steals.
steals.
He's efficient. Like he's a
He's
perfectly
not very
acceptable.
efficient. He doesn't shoot the ball very well.
He's mildly efficient. He's a perfectly fine ninth or 10th roster guy if you're
Yeah.
dealing with injuries.
Especially if you're not if you're dealing with injuries, if you have a couple guys on IL, and if you don't need anything in particular, like if you're not going for one thing, like he gets you a little bit of everything.
The question, when will you pick him back up on the flyer, waiting for him to take over the union?
Good
And
question. Yeah, how long do you wait to pick up your sanitation dudes? Like that's a real question. Like
mm-hmm. This that we'll revisit that one. We'll just let that one lie. We'll let that
because
one lie. We'll come back to it.
you only get 3 bench spots. Like
Yeah.
you can't really waste one for 3 months unless you have just a really good, really healthy team. or a
And
ton of guys on long-term IL.
and this is where like depending on how you drafted, if you drafted folks from teams who are going to try the whole time versus shutdown teams, like that's a, you gotta be willing to cut the shutdown guys loose, for sure. So
Now,
good.
yeah, I mean, I kind of worried about my shutdown potential for a couple of guys, but going with the Mathruian thing, the Indiana Pacers, who I have two of, Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner, are fifth in the West or in the East, 10-6. Same record as I think all of the leading teams in the Western Conference. I think all of the top teams have 6 losses. And I think it's worth pointing out that this was something I said before the season that I thought they were too good to tank, and that was
Too
part of
good to take.
and that was part of why I picked I think Halliburton and Turner 2 and 3. I think those were my second and third picks, and I really liked Halliburton, but I was like, he was a plan. Then Turner was there. I was like, well, he'll probably be on another team, so it's fine. And so I picked him too. But they might be, they could be gunning for a playoff spot. Like they may not be a shutdown team. Also, maybe they don't trade Turner. Who knows? Like
Yeah, because
there's a lot of
they gotta stop soon. Like what the lottery winner last year was what 20 wins? Like like they don't have much more runway
yeah, if they're really
start
trying
the
to go
tank.
top four,
Yeah.
but you could easily lose all of but 10 of your games if you wanted to. But they need to trade Turner ASAP and start thinking about shutting down Mathern and Halliburton like right away. Probably
Yeah.
trade Field too. But that's a lot of pieces. Like those are 4 very good players. And then they have a lot of good other guys too, like TJ McConnell, who's fun. O'Shea Brissett and Jackson and a lot of those big dudes who are rangy and get rebounds and do stuff.
Who do
Yes,
you
you wanted to say something.
No, I was saying if you're Pacers GM, you got a bunch of draft assets. Instead of tanking, who do you go get in a buyer's market?
Ooh, if you're going for it,
Yeah, who do you go get?
well, if they have going for it, they probably have to give up Matherin.
No, no,
Like
but
if
like,
they're,
but who are you gonna go pick? What do you need? What does that team need? Like, what is the target? I don't care about what they have to give up. I'm just curious who you go for.
who do I go for? I think I want a 4 if that's what I'm looking for. If I'm Indiana, I think I want a 4 because I think Halliburton is one of the best point guards. Turner is definitely a quality starting center. Matherin and Heald have the shooting guard spot locked down pretty good. So you're probably talking a 3-4 type. I mean, I keep coming back to OG, but that's never gonna. They're clearly not gonna trade him anytime soon. But Toronto just has half of all the wings in the league, so it's hard. If any team who needs a wing, it's like okay, why don't you give them Thaddeus Young? Like that'd be fine. He's still a guy. Like whenever everybody's
He's
injured,
killing it right now. With
yeah,
with
but
everybody out, he's killing it.
right. So they have every 3-4 that exists, I think, in the entire league right now. Um, let's see. Who else would be good on that team? If Orlando feels like it's too good, how about Wendell Carter Jr. with Turner?
Pick a pickup.
That would be another
Play,
one I do.
he plays well with the big men.
There's not really any go for it guys out there right now. Like there's no
Yeah,
real all the disgruntled star trades have kind of happened.
it is interesting. Like the trade deadline this year is gonna be not interesting or super wacky. Like there aren't. It's gonna be a lot of like weird dumpy type of trades or like forced trades or just no
I think
trades.
it's going to be very active. I think you're going to see those 4 teams at the bottom of each conference selling off everything, and you're going to see the Milwaukee's, the Boston's, the Phoenixes, maybe the Portlands, maybe the Utahs, even if they keep it up, starting to be buyers because there's going to be a lot of cheap assets available
What
because
about a
people are going to be fire sailing.
what about a Bojan? Is he on the block? Is that a
For the
fit or
Pistons, they
yeah?
just extended him. So it
Just
seems like they probably like him.
yeah, can we just like while we're on this topic, both of these conference standings right now are just like absolutely insane.
Yes.
Like, and the Bulls just beat the Celtics last night. Final, the Bulls are struggling, but they still are a good. Like they're just not healthy and they're not consistent. But they finally had a full lineup and they built the Celtics last night, which I was very happy about. Both full strength teams. Bucks are still pushing through. Everybody else is just like, are you serious? I love basketball right now because everybody is wacky and not good. Like the Heat,
I believe there is a 1 game difference between first and ninth in the West. I believe, if you look at the West.
second and ninth. Oh yeah, but they all have 7 losses. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
is insane. That's even more crazy. Like
Like 10 and
outside,
8, 10 and 8 versus like 12 and 7 is no amount of difference. That's like 2 bricks at the end of a close game.
hmm and even like going down. Yeah, I guess that is the cutoff. Like basically 10th, and then you get like hilarity even more so. The true tankers and then the dubs, which
Spurs have managed to fall down that pretty quick. Like they employed their tank very quickly.
yeah, it's weird because like a lot of the I actually haven't interrogated their games very much because lots of their guys are putting up big numbers,
Mm-hmm.
but they must only have like 3 guys, like Pirtle and Keldon and like but they
They
keep
don't really
losing.
score points.
Hmm,
Something you
that's
have to do in
important.
the game of basketball.
That is an important facet of the game of basketball.
Yeah.
So that's the rankings. You got to speak about the quality of the Pacers. I am definitely interested in how hard are they like them and the Jazz and are the two really on tank watch, but the Jazz can't now. I mean, like that's like they're again like they're already so like the Rockets have 3 wins only. Like I feel like the Jazz are too far gone at this
I mean,
point.
they could. Like you could easily do a thing where you win 4 games the whole rest of the year because you just sit everyone.
Mm.
As presently constituted, no. They
Are
like if marketing keeps doing marketing things and they keep playing all of their people, they're probably like I think they're going to even out a little bit. I don't think they're going to be that high, but they're probably in the 7, 8, 9 range at minimum if they
what?
keep everybody going.
Yeah. What about Charlotte? Like they're just bad because they're broken, but like are they like are they gonna be like shut LaMelo down? Like it's
Well, Lamelo's only played like 5 games,
yeah, he just started but coming
and
back.
he
Yeah.
got hurt again.
Oof. That's gonna be an interesting one. That
Also,
I think
they don't have their domestic abusing Bridges, who was their second best player. They like their young guys aren't really, PJ Washington is probably their second best player right now.
yeah,
Gordon Hayward is never really it doesn't play a lot of games. Like,
yeah, it's like basically Rozier. That's like the only guy
yeah,
that's doing stuff.
Rozier and Hayward are like their two notable
Wow.
above average starter level players
Man, if
at
I'm
this
that
point.
GM, I'm like a Tank City all the
Oh
way.
yeah, go
Go get
the
a
brick for
Victor.
Vic,
Brick
as
for Vic.
Vector said today.
So back to Mathrin, 4 in a row. Where is he at then? So with all of the glory and the fire of the Pacers, where do you put him in the league rankings?
I would say he hovers somewhere, give or take 10 spots around 100.
Incorrect. 150.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, he's high volume. Like,
Yeah, his
yeah, there you
percentages are
go.
on the low side. Yep.
Probably turns it over a decent amount too. Probably doesn't. I don't think he rebounds much either.
Yeah, it
While we're
doesn't.
looking at
That's
that, how many rebounds?
not a lot of
Yeah, 4
nutrients.
rebounds, 2 assists. He's just buckets.
Yeah,
Like,
just buckets.
but
Not
I
a lot of
believe he
nutrients.
is the leading scorer off the bench in the league.
He
I
is good.
think,
He is. Yes, he is.
yeah,
He is averaging basically 20 points a game. There have only like everybody who's done that as a sixth man has won sixth man of the year.
yeah.
And
Everyone
there's
who's
only
done that is basically Jamal Crawford and like
yes.
guys like that.
So like he has a and I think that's the write up in like the rookie ladder is he is like literally the leader of the sixth man of the year category as a rookie right now unquestionably, which is pretty nuts. So
And
good on
like
him.
I've watched a lot of Indiana games because I have multiple players in there. He's not awful on defense. Like he's not great, but like he gets it a little bit and he has the energy to stay with it. So he's got
Yeah.
that going too. He's already got the makings of two-way guy.
All right, next guess on the rankings. Where's your boy Shaden Sharp? Number 7 on the ladder.
Oh, he's probably pretty low because all he does is score two. I would say he is. I'd say he's probably in the 200s or maybe in
That
the high 100s.
good answer. Yeah, he's not super good. He
No,
actually
he
is not.
scores.
Yeah,
He just
he's
doesn't play a lot of minutes. So like he'll have big games where he'll score like 20 points on like 9 of 13 shooting or whatever. Which is
or
good. That's two and he'll hit a couple threes. Like that's a couple big categories.
or 1 of 9 shooting for 2
Well, it was
points.
the Bucks. Everybody shoots 1 of 9 against the Bucks.
That's fair.
Or maybe
Uh
2 of 19.
the one surprising one for me, mostly because he got hurt and so he hasn't been playing is Banchero. He's 105 on the average even, which was interesting. I think on account of the turnovers, but he was putting up some big numbers before he cooled off a little bit. Because he's
24 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, that's good numbers.
yeah,
77% free throw shooting is not good, though.
that's true. That knocks you down
Yeah.
for that kind of
That plus turnovers were like Giannis sometimes falls really low in the ranking.
uh he's not good this year. He's 41, like
Yeah,
which is
because
bad for
he's
him.
shooting 58% from the line
So bad.
and turning it over like it's running out of style. But he's also getting triple doubles in like 40-point games on like 20 of 22 shooting. So, you take the good
Yeah,
with the bad.
he is definitely the ultimate, like even worse than going with other bigs. Like you just have to punt free throws. Like you just ignore it completely. Like you don't
Oh
even
yeah.
you just
His
have to.
volume is just so high. Like he'll shoot 58% on like 15 free throws a night. And that will just kill you forever.
Is the one thing that like Luca is doing better this season. Still not like
That's
acceptable
still
for.
horrible for a guy who's as good of a shooter as he's supposed to be. Like how he cannot be over 80%, but like there were times where he was hovering in the 50s and 60s.
What's also crazy to me is the points on the floor, right? Like he's missed 41 free throws.
Right.
Like that's a huge amount of points that are
Yeah.
not on the board.
Right. Like 30 of those should be, or
That's many
25 at
games.
least.
Yeah, like that's like
That's a whole nother game's worth of points.
yeah, that to me is if he could fix that,
That's got to be all mental, right?
I mean it's got to be.
He also might be one of those guys like
I
who's
don't
just
think he
a better.
cares.
He just, I mean, he has to.
Like I don't think he gets so whiny. I'm not on Team Luca.
I know you're not a fan.
He's
He's
just
on the T-Zac hate list, the
yes.
ever-growing T-Zac hate
He
list.
is
You're
100%. I
welcome,
hope you're
Joe.
taking your notes for the clip show
Yeah, when
of
Joe comes on, we'll do the T-Zac hate list because he is very passionate about that.
we'll do that. We'll see if we can book him for the holidays. Yes. Although this season he's shooting so much better that he's even making up for his free throws.
Yeah,
Uh,
49% on the amount of volume that he takes.
and his turnovers are actually down for like if I have to go back and check my math, but I think 3-1 turnover to
Assist to
assist
turnover.
is really actually quite good.
3-1
Um,
assist to turnover at high usage is very good.
yeah, and
2-1 is bad. Anything less than that is like you're not a guy who can handle the ball.
yeah, and let me so like Trey Young, Trey is at like 3-1.
With Paul George is like 1-1.
Oh wow, that's bad. Ugh.
He's just the only player on that team at this point, so he just has to do all the things. I bet Randall is
Randall
54 to 55. He's negative.
negative. Oh man.
That was one of the things like when he was really good 2 seasons ago was that he turned it over. He might turn it over 5 times, but he might also have 15 assists, and then his assist to turnover was great.
Yeah, Halliburton's 3.5, so that's
He's
really
league
good.
leader in assists.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Let's go that way. That's probably the better way. Yeah, I mean that's a significant ratio. I gotta check that
Also,
ratio.
He had 7 turnovers last game, so like a big chunk of those happened in the
Ooh.
last game.
Conley is almost 5-1.
Yep,
That's
open
quite
and point
good.
guard skills.
Who else we got? Brunson's 4-1. Jokic less than 3-1. So yeah, so 3-1 is definitely that cutoff. I like this.
Yeah, that's where
This
you want to be as a
that's where
high
you want to be.
usage ball handler.
Where's my boy? Where's all of my players who aren't playing right now because they're all broken? All of my guys are on the second page. That's fun. I got like 6 guys on the second page.
There you go.
Uh, Barnes. Ooh, Barnes is good. 2-1. Oh yeah, that is Van Vliet. Maybe it's like 4-1. Yeah, that's the efficiency. He's just not
Yep.
playing. All right. All right. I like this stat now. All right. That's that's what I got. Any final how are the Blazers doing? Any important developments since last week?
Dame's hurt again, which is not great. He has another calf strain, and then you start worrying about Achilles. He's a man of a certain age, and a certain age where you start to worry about Achilles injuries.
What was the what was the injury where you felt personally attacked by the internet?
Achilles tendonitis happens to older recreational athletes who play sports on the weekends, and it's like, oh, come on now.
No, I thought it wasn't older. I thought it was like people in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah, people in their 30s and 40s who play sports only on the weekend.
You should clip that and send it to Lillard's Instagram.
I don't play sports on the weekends anymore now. I just play them during the week. So
Oh,
I'm avoiding that now, and obviously my Achilles will now be fine because I only play during the week.
that is science, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Indisputable facts, and certainly nothing to debunk there. So I think that's a great place to end. Like, only play sports during the week. That's moral story. I like it.